What's up, folks? We're back. We're not talking about the Boston Celtics, even though at the time of this recording they are 3-0.
Oh,
That's
they are.
Leroy. He's
They
very
are. Oh,
excited. Michael,
hadn't
I
heard
don't
that.
have a dog in the race, so I really don't care.
Hadn't
Um,
heard that.
okay, man. I hope y'all don't blow it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Woo! I'm gonna tell you right now. If we do, don't look for me.
If y'all blow it, you gonna look real foolish.
Oh
But
no, I
I
won't. I
mean,
will
as
still
of
be a
now,
fan. Like
they
I'll still
are
be a fan.
Boston Celtics. Boston Celtics are handling their business.
I will say this: regardless, win or lose, I'm proud of my team. I have actually got to watch the games, the finals, and I'm very excited. And that's all I'm gonna say. I have a lot more that I could say, but you
You'll
have
wait till
to
they
get
win
a
the championship, I guess.
no. You got to get them subscriber numbers up because there's a lot of things I want to say.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
Like I said, that is Leroy. I'm Michael. This is the We Trying channel, a
yep.
Nerdy by Nature production. Uh,
Hmm.
and we are recording this because normally on Saturdays we try to be live if we can, but we have plans for this Saturday, so we're going to record and give you something a little to watch.
Yep, I'm wearing a green Guinness shirt. Got a green beer over here. Got my Celtics flag going on. I tried to wear the Celtics hat, but I cut my hair up so my head's a little smaller, so my hat don't fit.
You cut your bald head?
Yeah, that little bit keeps the hat on in the right
Okay.
place.
All right. Fantastic.
Hey man, let me
So
have that.
yeah, sure. If you want more of this inanity and foolishness, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll keep doing this for
Yep.
you guys all the time.
Hmm.
But no, we are actually going to talk about and review the Xbox presentation that happened as of this taping this past Monday. Uh, People had said it was the most important Xbox showcase ever. They had to deliver. Uh, they've had some bad press these past couple months here, laying off studios. People
Months, years.
Yeah, but I feel like it was really hit like now. They're like, what's going on? I mean, like these most recent months are a continuation of what happened before, but I
Yeah.
feel like they've really been in the spotlight from everybody.
Hmm. I
Um,
agreed.
so did they nail it? Did they win you over? Did they do everything they needed to do?
Hey man, I don't own an Xbox. What you think?
Okay, interesting.
I mean, you know what? I do own one because you did give me one. I appreciate that. I do own an Xbox, but I want to hear from you because you have been more so than me a fan and a supporter of Uncle Phil,
Oh
as
yes,
he's affectionately called, and
yes.
you convinced me to want to get Game Pass. I did
Uh-huh.
have Game Pass when the Xbox that you had given me. I was playing it. I enjoyed it. I bought into the ecosystem to a certain extent. So I'm not one of those people who's like poo pooing Microsoft,
Hmm.
but I do want to hear from you because you were definitely invested. You played Cyberpunk
Hmm.
on the Xbox. You bought the Cyberpunk edition, if I remember correctly.
I got the special edition Cyberpunk Xbox One X. Yeah,
Pre ordered Starfield.
I pre-ordered the super special stupid edition of it. Yeah,
Hey man, for $30, let me get that watch from you because that's
uh,
all I want.
$30. I feel like that was probably the most expensive thing in the whole bundle. But
30 $37 then. $37. That's my final offer.
fine, that's
Um,
fine. But yeah, for me, I was hyped. I think they showed a lot of good stuff. I think the issue is, and we can talk about this afterwards, but a little preview now of I think Xbox has delivered good showcases in the past.
okay.
I think this one could arguably be named their best one in years for sure. But I think the issue is it's not that they can't show hype stuff, it's if they can deliver. Because there have been previous instances where we've seen really good showcases from Xbox, whether the
Correct.
level is as good as this or not. We've seen good showcases, but then you're still like, okay, this is cool, but then the game doesn't necessarily deliver. Like
Mhm.
last year when they did their June showcase and they had that 30-minute Starfield presentation, people were wowed by Starfield. I was one of the suckers who said, I'm going to get the super special edition. And to be fair, Starfield's fine. I don't know if I don't know if it's a 10 out of it's not a 10 out of 10 for me. It is for some people. It's not for me. I think it's a fine game.
Okay.
I think Todd Howard is a hell of a salesman, and that's his company. I get it. I think there are promises made in Starfield that really haven't been met yet. Maybe they will get met with the additions and DLC that's coming out. Um,
Mhm.
but again, they can do a hell of a hype package and a hype trailer. It's just can they deliver? I think they showed a lot of good stuff in this June showcase. My question is, are these games going to come out on time? And when they come out on time, are they going to be good? So that's my overall thing. I think this was cool, but it talk to me next year and see if these games are actually good. Oh, and I will say one game that I saw, I'm kind of less excited about it after seeing it now, and I didn't think that would be the case. But that'll be a
Mhm.
teaser, so you guys got to stay through the end to figure out what game I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I so you want to know my thoughts on this, correct? On
Just
this.
overall, and yeah. So to give everybody a run of the show, we'll give overall thoughts, and then we'll kind of go game by game.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
I was one of those people who did not have a problem with the. I didn't think it was hyperbole that this was one of, if maybe not the most, but I can understand if people thought this is the most consequential, important Xbox showcase for the company. I understand because you have bought all these game studios, and every time, every year, you have not produced games that has made Xbox the first party console to play these games. They did not have the exclusives that Sony had, and that was the narrative every year for this iteration and the last iteration of Xbox, the Series X. Um, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this showcase. I think they put together a great sizzle reel. Because that's what this is. The showcase is a sizzle reel. It's the upfronts for video games. If for those people who don't know what upfronts are, that's where your networks give their, hey, this is what we've got coming out this year. Tune it, our fall lineup. I I don't think it was a slam dunk. I don't think they knocked it out of the park. I think this was a nice. I think this was good because once again, anybody can cut a trailer together to make your game look good. Sony was accused of doing this several years. I'm still one of the idiots who remembers the Killzone Call of Duty, no, Halo Killer trailer that came out, what, 20 years ago? Has it been that long?
Was that Killzone 2 or something maybe? Or
No, that was the original Killzone.
no,
Hold on,
not the original Killzone.
I believe that was the original Killzone trailer. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Because the original Killzone was like for PlayStation 2 or something.
Yep. But remember that Killzone. Hold on. Was that Killzone 2? But either way, I remember that trailer. I remember, so it's not out of the realm of possibility of someone putting together a giant sizzle reel and it being and not delivering on that. Um I enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing how this all shakes out. But there were some games that really stood out that made me say, "Huh." There was a lot of stuff that made me want to get back into the Microsoft ecosystem of Xbox. But I will wait until half of this stuff comes out because it's still not there for me to spend $400 on a console.
You don't got to spend it on a console. You just got to get Game Pass and play it somewhere else, baby.
Yeah, but I want the console.
You know what? That's what I learned from this whole thing. Xbox really wants you to get that Game Pass because all this stuff is coming. A lot of stuff is coming day one on Game Pass, but they don't really care if you get that console. And I'll tell you why, because they just want you to get that subscription service.
I think that is a great, because I was one of those people who was like, they have to raise the price of Game Pass. I was one of those people. I thought they were going to jack that shit up to $24.99 or at least $20. And so we can get to the games. We can start. But I will say I will give this 3 out of 5 solid.
Solid shit. Solid what?
I'm trying to think because this is what I was gonna say. I was gonna say I'll give this a 3 out of 5 bad Sarah Bond interviews.
Leave my Sarah Bond alone.
I won't because she looked great in this. Phil looked okay in this. Matt Booty, but I watched her interview, Sarah Bond's interview, after the dissolution of Tango Gameworks, and I still don't know why you closed that studio. And so this showcase comes on the heels of them closing those studios and them trying to save face. But putting this out, I think it was decent. But it didn't overwhelm me that I was like, oh, I'm about to go buy a console tomorrow. It didn't. But then again,
I mean, has a press conference ever like I got to go get a console?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sony, some of Sony's stuff when The Last of Us 2 was presented, when a lot of these games were presented, I was like, I have to have a Sony PlayStation.
But didn't you already have the Sony PlayStation when Last of Us 2 was announced?
No.
Okay.
Because Last of Us 2 was a PS4 game.
Didn't you already have the PS4 game?
I had the PS4 game, but what I'm saying is, when the PS5 when it was announced, and anyway, let's not get into the weeds of it.
Okay.
Let's get to that first game. Trying to trip me up here.
I'm just talking to you how you use your words, sir. All right, we'll just go in the order of the games that were presented. The game that Showcase started with was Call of Duty.
Hey man, you spent $70 billion. You better start off with Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah, Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
No.
This isn't Black Ops 6?
Oh yeah, you're right. Because I keep thinking it's called, because I keep thinking to say Gulf War.
Nah.
They're
not going to call it that.
I know. It's just it reminds me.
Then it gets too real.
You just saw Saddam.
Then it gets too real if you call it what it is.
I know.
Then it's not as fun to kill these people when they're have real consequences to it.
I know it's called Black Ops, but I want to call this, like, it's Clinton, it's Reagan, it's the Gulf War. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so Call of Duty Black Ops 6 looks cool. I think I have not played a campaign for a Call of Duty game in years. I think the last one I played, it might have been Black Ops 3, and that was because I just happened to download it off of PlayStation Plus a couple months ago. I was like, oh, I'll just try this and I'll play it. It was all right. And I think it was that when it was whichever Black Ops game was in the future. Is that all of them? I don't know. I don't really know the storylines for these. Leroy, I'm asking you. Do you know?
Black
Ops. It was the one that had who's the guy from Law and Order? Maloney. Whichever game.
Elliot Spitzer.
Whichever game he was in, that was the last Call of Duty single player game I played.
No, that's the governor of New York. I'm sorry, Elliot Stabler.
Stabler, yes.
Yes, that is. Yes, that is Black Ops 3.
Or maybe it was 4. I might have been 4, honestly. I don't know.
It might be Black Ops 4. Hold on, let me look. But continue.
Well, yeah, I think this looks great. I didn't really watch the 30-minute presentation afterwards, but I think this looks cool. I'm excited it's coming to Game Pass day one. I'm excited that they didn't raise the price for Game Pass. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys dodged a bullet on that one.
I
Because
mean,
Leroy would have jacked that price up.
I think a hike will probably come later. Honestly, the way they do business, they probably will be like, oh yeah, a few months, maybe they could be like, yeah, we're going to hike the price up and
I
not
still
do it
think
during
it's
this
coming.
press conference. I think so.
I think it's coming
unpopular
for the end of the
opinion.
year.
I think there is so much. I don't work for Xbox. People could accuse me of it because I support them all the time. I think there is so much value to Game Pass. If they raise it, I'd be okay with it because you get access to so many games that I have
Mhm.
played through this thing. So I mean, I would be okay if they raise the price on it.
Okay.
But yeah, Black Ops 6. What you thinking?
I am a fan of the campaigns. I
Mhm.
think I played. I've always played Medal of Honor and Call of Duty. They both were competing for the World War II stuff. But when Modern Warfare came out, and anybody who's, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Anybody who's watched this channel knows I Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3, one of the best trilogies of all time, video game wise, for campaign. I played special missions. I did play online a little bit, but I was never really a big online person when it came to Call of Duty. For me, the campaigns were just larger than life, were amazing. I did buy Modern Warfare, the reboot of the series, and I picked up 2. I did not play 3. I won't play 3. And as much as I love Call of Duty, I played Black Ops. I will not be getting this. That install base alone. Did you see the how big that?
So there was reports that it was supposed to be 380 gigs, but then somebody else came back like it's actually not that much.
How much is it? Because I'm telling you right
I
now,
don't know,
you
but
need
they
at
just said
least
it wasn't
200.
380.
You need at least 200 for the last 2 games that they've had out. Call of Duty.
Now, is
I
that if you own the physical edition or just a digital edition?
in order to play Call of Duty, you need at least 200 gigs saved space on your hard drive.
And so the
Because
reason you won't get it is because of the physical space it takes up.
the physical space and it's I am of the mindset that I understand why they want you to install all of this to play the game. I am one of those people, and I think they would sell more copies if you have an option of just installing the campaign. For those people who just want to play the campaign, but I know the metrics probably show that if we get them into the ecosystem and they download all of this stuff, we can microtransaction to the death, yada, yada, yada. I'm willing to pay 30, 40, maybe even $50 just for that 10-hour campaign, if it's 10 hours. Because I've always enjoyed the Call of Duty campaigns. I feel like action-wise, they've made you think. They've always challenged your perception about war. But Black Ops does not interest me. I played Black Ops. The original Black Ops I loved. With Mason, I loved that game. This doesn't interest me. For those people who are Call of Duty fans, I'd like to hear from you why you love this game now. Is it Warzone? Is it Vanguard? Like, what about Call of Duty now keeps you playing?
Do you think this one kind of turns you off because it is so close to real world events that you kind of live through this?
No,
Okay.
I shoot people in the real world where there's fake world. It doesn't matter to me whether it's Call of Duty or Destiny. Shooting people is shooting people, Michael. In the words of Fallout, war never changes.
Okay.
So but no, I really was. I love the campaigns. I would love to see those campaigns come back. But I understand right now everything is multiplayer, live service, microtransactions. But again, you spend $70 billion, and I'm quite sure they were like, that shit is front and center.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand it.
All
But
right.
it's go ahead.
I was going to move to the next game unless you had a closing thought on
No,
this.
no, let's go.
All right. Next game, time to rip and tear. Doom Man, he's back. This is Doom: The Dark Ages.
Yep.
Before he became a hero. Let's see.
What do you mean? Before he became a hero, he was always a hero. Before he became
a hero, he was a weapon of the gods. Is what this game told us. And one thing I do like about this, I think Sony's doing this as well, but I do like that maybe in the past, starting either last year or the year before, Xbox has been explicit to say that this is either in-game engine or a cinematic or whatever. So at least you kind of know what you're looking at. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It's more Doom, baby, and I think that's awesome. I like Doom Guy. I think he's great. He doesn't talk. He doesn't need to. He just goes around and beating the shit out of people or beating the shit out of demons.
Yeah, I was about to say people. He's
I mean, demons, people, whatever. People possessed by demons. So
I enjoyed the out of the first one, I enjoyed the new whatever it was, not Doom, like was it Doom Eternal? What was
like the more recent ones?
Yeah, so like not
like,
the very
Doom 2016, and then the sequel to that was Doom Eternal.
Okay, 2016 Doom. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
because I'm not a real big fan of all the jumping and stuff. I just need the ripping and the tearing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't need.
I like this whole shield mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm having, I think it fits with the whole Dark Ages, but also having the shield that has like a buzzsaw on it that you can throw almost like Captain America and it comes back to you. I imagine. I can't wait to be able to upgrade that. That's going to seem very cool. Yeah.
I thought Doom Dark Ages was cool. I would rather play it when this comes to Game Pass. I don't want to buy it, but I because I do want to, because I did buy Doom Eternal, and I was like, and I took it back.
I mean, you can buy it for your Sony PlayStation 5 if you like.
What?
Doom Black Ops or Doom Dark Ages.
Doom
it's coming to PlayStation 5. Yeah. Doom is coming to PlayStation 5.
That's a whole nother topic about like keeping things on Xbox. So I have no problem with Microsoft saying this is going to stay on our console. But I understand you got to ROI, return on investment. They need that money back. So I get that. But I'm willing to see how this game shakes out. I'm like, I don't need all that jumping around. I don't need Mario mechanics in my games. I just want to chainsaw people in the face.
I mean, wasn't there a little jumping in 2016?
A little, but
not like Eternal, yeah.
Yeah, Eternal upped it. So
sure.
And I'm not, and don't mistake, I'm not saying Doom Eternal wasn't a good game. It just wasn't a game for me. That first Doom was great. I'm still one of those people who loves Doom 3. The one that was more, I love that game. Me and my dad love that game. So, but yeah, what you got next?
Next game is, got a list, State of Decay 3. Oh, and
Man.
Doom was 2025 is for Doom is the date we have coming 2025.
Yeah. I loved that trailer.
So is this one? You said there were like 3 games. Was this one of the 3?
State of Decay. That trailer got me. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And I was like, I want to play that game. That trailer, trailer got me. Like when old boy went down after they jumped on him, and then she grabbed like the little
green
thing. Yeah, I was like, and then they had that little that altar for everybody when they were like, nobody's forgotten. I was like, that story trailer got me. Did
you play the other 2?
Mm-mm,
Okay.
I did
Um,
not.
I played State of Decay 1, and it's not a game I would typically play, not even for like the scary factor. It's just not a game that I would normally play, as I say it again. But I enjoyed what I played of it. I like the idea of the community aspect of working with people to kind of build out your encampment as you try to take
Mhm.
down these zombies or whatever. Um, I think an issue that people have with State of Decay 2 is that it was very similar to State of Decay 1 and really didn't do a lot to make it.
Mhm.
It didn't seem like, oh, this is the sequel. Maybe this was
Yeah.
just an update to State of Decay 1. I mean, there was a development hell issue for State of Decay 3 because we saw a State of Decay 3 trailer maybe last year or the year before.
Yeah.
I think it was like a black woman out in like a winter wood
Yeah.
setting. There was a decayed
Shot the
deer.
deer. Mhm.
Yeah. And people were like,
She,
oh, this
she,
looks cool.
yeah. The zombie deer.
But nobody knew when it was coming out. Now we're seeing this. It seems like they were working with, I think they got help from another studio in terms of how to use Unreal Engine 5. I think this is Unreal Engine 5 now, or an updated engine to what they're using before, and they kind of got a better handle on how to use it. So up here's a
Mhm.
part where he falls.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. This
Yeah.
got me because he pulled that thing off of her, and then they got him, and I was like, oh
Hmm.
yeah.
So is
Like
this one you would play with other people or by yourself or?
both. Like
Okay.
the like this trailer did get me. It did bring back that whole survival horror, but also the sense of community, the sense of being out there and being alone, fighting against the odds, but also fighting with a team. This part was like, oh, I don't know about this. Only
You mean
because
like how it looks visually or
the game mechanic, like how do you take this out? Like how do you fight whatever this is?
you let your other
And
three people attack it and be bait and then you come in for the final kill?
sir, that's a cowardly way of playing. I'm Leroy
I got to
Jenkins.
survive. Okay, Leroy
Sir,
Jenkins.
I'm about to Leroy Jenkins this shit.
Okay.
Leroy Jenkins.
Okay.
But like that altar and this logo, I was like, oh, I really enjoyed this trailer. So the
Okay.
like if this comes to Game Pass,
Of course it's coming. It's day one on Game Pass.
I'm down.
Okay.
I
Next
was saying that
game.
as a dramatic effect, but I didn't do a good job of like, is this coming to Game Pass? And I was trying to time it with Game Pass announcement. Go ahead.
Next one, Dragon Age, Vanguard, Veilguard. So this is
I
interesting to me because this doesn't look like the other Dragon Age games,
It
which
does not.
which isn't a bad thing. It just looks different. That's cool.
Uh, I'm on board. It's Dragon Age. I'm on board. And I do need to see
Actual
gameplay.
gameplay.
Yeah, I need to see, but like the fact that it's back, yeah, I'm on
Mhm.
board. Yeah,
Okay.
I love Dragon Age Inquisition. Uh I would like to see I would like to see more of the
So if you want to see some gameplay, I can play some for you right now.
more like what like who like Solus is the villain. Spoiler alert, Solus is the villain. I do want to see more of like what are you up against in this? Because remember, Solus was a companion. He
Hmm.
was a good guy. And it's like, oh, you were you the whole time? Like, oh, like so I need to see how do you how does that play out? So I'm down.
Dragon Age has since put up video after that showcase. I think they put it up either yesterday or the day before. But explain to people who don't know the Dragon Age story, like why they should care, because Dragon Age has a very loyal fan base and a very rabid following. What is it about Dragon Age that keeps you coming back to go to these stories?
Um the character interactions so this right here is what I'm wondering. It seems before you would have a team, you would go out with characters and they would fight with you. So right there.
Yeah,
So
there's
you
some people
so
behind them.
so that was what made the game, the combinations of characters that you would take with you and leveling up your companions. But it was the moments in between the battles. Like, don't get me wrong, the gameplay itself was fun, but it was the moments of like, okay, you've bonded with this character, you've bonded with that character.
Like the
How does
almost maybe when you're like at your campsite or whatever, you're talking with these
yes,
people. Yeah. Okay.
and it's so like that character's that character's backstory that you fell in love with. That's what made Dragon Age different from Dragon Age was doing kind of what Baldur's Gate did before Baldur's Gate 3 came out.
I was gonna say a lot of people like Baldur's Gate 3 with the character interactions with the stuff. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
because Dragon
Like,
Age did some stuff, maybe do you think now they're gonna maybe pull and ape some things from Baldur's Gate that maybe have improved on
hopefully,
the things that they did? Yeah.
hopefully, like I'm hoping that we grow this RPG genre to where there is the action based elements in it, but
Hmm.
also the fact of what made RPGs so beloved is the character interactions and the story told while you're doing this, and that's what Dragon Age. Don't get me wrong, it's the dragons, it's the magic, it's the the dwarves, all of that stuff. But it's like I love that part.
Hmm.
So I'm really interested to see how they pull this off. But you're right, it does have a different look, and I don't want to say it's like it looks like Overwatch, like if Overwatch was Dungeons and Dragons, but I did get that feel from that trailer. Like that art design was totally different from what we expected from Dragon Age. Like I expected them to go more um not Elder Scroll RPG or Dragon's Dogma, but I didn't expect them to go with more of a lighter flair because the subject they do hit hard with that subject matter in Dragon Age, but I did expect them the art style to be a little darker. But I'm down for this one. I really am.
Next game up was a Starfield expansion, Starfield Shattered Space.
This seemed
Um,
more horror elements than anything.
oh yeah, yeah. You kind of get little hints in the first in the standalone game of the Snake Society, Serpent Society. I don't want to. It's something with snakes or whatever that you
Mhm.
kind of hear about, and then this game seems to kind of follow up with that group a little bit more. Um, but yeah, this definitely has more of a horror element than the most of Starfield.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, are you into that because it's horror?
No, I'm just in Starfield. Like I just want to play Starfield. And this doesn't change me wanting to play it. It doesn't like up it. I was going to play Starfield without this.
Okay.
Like this is just like, oh, cool, more stuff. Cool. I'm already like you already sold me on Starfield. So
Okay. What about Fallout 76? That was the next one coming up. Where we got?
no, hold on, go back. You
I
played
haven't.
Starfield. What did you think of this? Like, are you on board for this, or you're like, no, I played enough.
No, it's not that I played enough. I just need to get back into it because I definitely stopped my Starfield experience. I need to get back into
Mhm.
it and play some more because I got the super stupid special edition. I believe I should get this. Well, I should get it because it'll be on Game Pass no matter what. But I should also get it probably 3 days earlier whenever they're going to release it since it's part of the season pass.
Mhm.
I think this is interesting, but I actually need to go and finish. What I'm curious is, will this expansion work for me if I haven't beat the game yet, or if I can just start it like from the beginning? I don't know. I'd
That's a good
imagine you have to
question.
play. Yeah, I imagine you have to play a couple of hours or something, so you at least know who
Mhm.
this faction is, and then maybe you could play it. I don't know.
That's a good.
Yeah, chat. Let us know if that answer's already been solved. If it's
Mhm.
end of game DLC, or if you can kind of play it as you start a new game plus or whatever. And they're also letting you
Um,
do all of the expansion and mod building and stuff that Bethesda's known for. So that's good that they're letting you do that community support. and then this play it a little bit. And the next thing is Fallout 76. More
So,
territory to explore in Fallout 76.
so Fallout 76 is not a game for me, so to speak.
Hmm.
I need the regular Fallout.
Hmm.
So, a matter of fact, I'm playing Fallout 4 right now. My game is paused. So as soon as we're done with this, I'm going to go because I think I'm in Vault 81, but discovered that again. I 76. I was not a fan of when it was released. Wasn't a fan when they did the updates. I'm good. I'll go back and play Fallout 4 or now. What I did expect them to do was announce a remake of either New Vegas or 3.
Hmm.
So, but I am glad that they have they haven't given up on 76 for those people who do play it.
All right.
And I did feel a little weird or like, huh, because I'm not in the 76 camp. I thought it was weird you couldn't already play as a ghoul.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, you can't do that? I was like, oh, that's disappointing. Like you should have already done that.
Okay. Next game is what was the next game? Expedition 33.
That was a weird one because I was
I'm
like,
excited
yeah,
for this.
I was like, yeah, this is cool. Like the art
Yeah.
direction, like I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like this because at first when I saw it, I was like, did these mofos get order 18
Oh,
whatever?
that
Because
PlayStation 4 game that was like 4 hours.
it reminded me of that. And then
I
I
can
was
see
like,
that.
wait a minute. And then I was like, I looked so right here. Then I was like, ain't that the dude from Banished? Then I looked at her and I was like, no, that's old girl from BioShock.
Bioshock. She kind of looks like the Bioshock girl. Yeah, I can
But
see
I,
that.
I really, I really was like, it just evoked so many different video games when I looked at the characters and I didn't know what I was watching. I was like, fucking, I'm in. I don't care. I'm in.
Yeah, it sounds. I think I don't know if this has been confirmed, but I think the main character is voiced by Ben Starr, or at least the voiceover that you hear is Ben Starr. That was the guy who was Clive in Final Fantasy 16. Um, Looks cool. I'm excited, and hopefully we'll get to it by the end of the game. But I like these button presses that you're playing it because it looks like some sort of RPG game, but it also looks like it has quick button action mechanics like you would see in like a Mario Party or whatever,
So
which
here's the
I am
thing.
for. I'm super excited for.
I am for this game, but I am not for quick time moments. I'm just
So
not.
when I say quick time moments, it is it's not like in Resident Evil 4, where like, oh, hit this or the boulder's going to kill you or something.
Yeah.
But it's more like if you hit the button in time, you can increase the damage or reduce the amount of
Okay.
damage done to you. So
If
it won't
that's the case,
necessarily, yeah, which I think is going to be awesome. Give me high fancy graphics with like the quick time gameplay of like a Mario RPG or whatever. Um,
mhm.
some people said it kind of reminded them of like a not a steampunk, but I can't think of the genre, but like a Persona type in terms of like the way the RPG system looks, which could be interesting for me. Next game up, what is this coming up here? Xbox Game Studio presents. It is this was I liked this. South of Midnight, Compulsion Games. The people that gave
Yeah,
us We Happy Few. This Louisiana Bayou thing, I don't know. I
love
don't
the
know
art
if
direction behind this,
yeah, this looks so cool.
and remember they showed this at another showcase, and with the weird time game, where like you were in books and you were
Hmm.
hopping from book to book. I so this when the trailer starts, you just hear the voices, and you hear her voice and you hear a man's voice, and then you realize she's riding a fish and the fish
Hmm.
is talking. And I was like, and then I remembered the game and I was like, oh yeah, I'm on board. I really love the art direction behind this. I really enjoyed the dialogue between the two characters.
And I like the
Eh,
way that the background seems to be moving at a different frame rate than the people. Are the like the foreground characters? Kind of reminds me of like how Spider Verse really made that popular in terms of animating your characters differently than what's going on in the background and stuff. Um, so I'm wondering how I will get used to that in a full game. I almost wonder if, because if you play Spider Man and Spider Man 2, you can get the Spider Verse suit and you can animate differently than what's going on in the background. But if it kind of gives you like a motion sickness, you can turn it off and make it just smooth. So I wonder if you'll be able to do that in this. But it looks cool. I don't know how I feel about the combat of it yet. Like I don't feel like it feels weighty enough the way she was attacking that one enemy. But again, I haven't played it. That's just how it looks. But like
I just like
like
the idea.
visually,
I love the idea of this part right here when she's like, the island is him. And
mhm.
I was like, yeah, like I really enjoyed, and even if I don't, even if I even if this game isn't for me, it is for me. If
Mhm.
that makes sense, I'm willing to give it a chance just based on the art direction, the character that they made, the interactions. I'm willing to give this a chance.
Okay. Next game up was, it was a cinematic. They didn't show gameplay, but you kind of know what you're getting. World of Warcraft, the latest expansion for World of Warcraft. I don't really have much to say because I don't play World of Warcraft. I hope
I
this is
don't
what
either.
people wanted.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can
but
skip it. I don't know.
here's the thing. I hope that World of Warcraft is what the fans want, but I'm not plugged into that world, so I defer to whoever does play that. And excuse me, I apologize. I am interested in, can they pull this off, because I have heard that World of Warcraft has not, they have not done right by some of these expansions. So I hope for those people who play it, this is what they want.
I'm trying to skip through that whole CG trailer.
Mhm.
Oh, here we go. This is what
What?
we want. The next game. Let's go, baby. Metal Gear Solid Delta.
So,
Yes.
so how excited for you
All the way
are
up.
you? Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I've gone on record. Metal Gear Solid 3 is my favorite Metal Gear game.
Okay.
Um, I love everything about that game. I love the how much of a James Bond it feels in terms of
Hmm.
hearing the Cynthia Harrow, I think is her name. Let me look her up.
Hmm.
So I don't want to confuse my white people like you confuse your white people.
Hey
Um,
man, I'm getting older. I'm losing my touch.
yeah,
White people, I apologize. What? Wait. White women, I apologize.
there we
Because I know my white men.
Cynthia Harrow Snake Eater lyrics. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yep, thought so. Um, yeah, that song when you're climbing up that silo and the song slowly pipes in and gets louder as you climb all the way up. It's fantastic. And I think the biggest issue everybody has had is like, oh, that first cinematic trailer they showed seemed cool, and
Mhm.
the screenshot they had seemed cool, but what does it look like in motion? This looks really good. I
So
mean, it
I
seems like they're
wasn't.
hitting all the right beats.
I will say this: this didn't sell me
Interesting.
until this trailer.
Oh,
Because
okay.
three, I know a lot of people are like three, three, three. Three was okay for me.
Hmm.
Three was okay. One and two are my favorites, and so I'm on board with this.
Hmm.
Of course, I'll be a dumbass and buy it, but I am I am I'm a big metal like they're right here behind me. I can pull them out if you need to see them. I'm I'm skeptical because the company that is doing this remake or redux or whatever you want to call it, I need to see a review before I'm all on board. Because
Hmm.
it looked good. It looked good. I just need more.
Okay.
And because it's
Um,
not my favorite Metal Gear, so
yeah. Next game up was Sea of Thieves. Again, that is another game that I
thanks.
know has a devoted fan base. I don't have anything against it. I need to play it. It's part of Game Pass. I should be playing it. There's so
I'm
much
good.
content to try.
I'm good.
Okay. Next one was Flintlock. This was a game that I thought was already out.
This is a game that I was like, okay, this is interesting. Now, here's the thing. This is a game that I'm like, I want to play this on my Steam Deck.
Okay.
This is a game that I was like, this looks cool. I want to play this on the go.
Yeah, I remember seeing a trailer for this a couple of a couple of showcases ago. Maybe it was the last showcase or whatever. But I definitely thought this game was out. This could be interesting. I like her locomotion and how she moves through the world and her fox pet creature, whatever. I like that a lot. I'm curious to know more about the story, and I guess she's probably on a tale of revenge. Everybody's on a tale of revenge, so why not?
Yeah, we all got a list of people we would like to take out. Anyway,
There we go.
like I like this. I really thought this was cool, and I like this is a game that is like not necessarily I need to play like on a giant screen, but it looked fun to the point where I was like, oh, I could play this on my Steam Deck. Like I really, I thought this was a cool game.
Yeah, I like the setting
hmm
because it seemed like it's like in a colonial type world, maybe with the I don't know, but we'll see. I don't know if this had a date or not. From the makers of Ashen, let's see if this has a date.
Let it
Explosive
keep playing.
Souls. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this conference overall was interesting in that I feel like it had a lot for everybody in terms of genres. The only thing I feel like I didn't see was a racing game, which I'm okay with because I know they have racing games, and I didn't see a fighting game here, which was kind of interesting.
7/18/24.
Okay. Coming to Game Pass. There we go.
Was there any doubt?
Yeah, I feel like everything here might have been probably Game Pass, right? Well, Metal Gear wasn't announced as Game Pass, so I mean, some of the stuff maybe there was no Game Pass. But next up was I'm excited. I like RTSs. Age of Mythology.
Pass.
You a hater?
I'm just. It's not for me, man. And I'm not knocking it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just not for me. So,
I mean, I don't think it's the same studio. I wonder if it's the same studio that did the HD remakes for Age of Empire. I don't know. I think this is cool. Like I said, I like a good RTS and I like a hook. I like the idea of messing around with different gods and goddesses and appeasing them to do different type of powers. But you have Egyptians, Norse, Greek, and I don't remember who the other faction was. Was it Aztecs? I can't.
Now
remember.
here's the thing. I do wish games like this would incorporate more African mythology in it. But
Oh, sure.
I know that's a stretch. We're a Western civilization as far as like where our history comes from.
Yeah.
But I do wish they would incorporate more like Orishas.
I think that could. Yeah.
I would like to see that, but I know that's asking a lot.
I mean, the closest you got is Egyptian.
Yeah, and so
that's what they're giving you.
It's like even good these pyramids, but again, but this isn't for me. So I'm not going to be like you should have. When I don't even play the game, so
yeah, I think that would be a cool expansion though if they could do that because you have other religions and mythologies you could add to it.
Agreed.
For sure. So yeah. Next up was this was the one that nobody thought was going to be here because this game was supposed to never come out and be in development hell. It still could be, but this gives me some more hope. Yeah, Perfect. This looks cool.
This
I feel
was
like
the one that I was like, this like that. If that is gameplay, because again, I'm not sold until I see it.
I mean, they said
This
it's
was
gameplay.
amazing.
Yeah.
I watching this, I was like, can you do half of this shit? I was enthralled. I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this, I did not think that she looked like that. Because I remember the original Perfect Dark, she had dark hair.
Well, I mean, they change people up. It's been years.
I understand, but I guess what I'm just saying, that wasn't when I saw it. I was like, oh, that's what she looks like. Because again,
Mhm.
we have these face modeling. It just that wasn't what I expected. But this part where she's like right there, where she's listening, then she goes up, she uses the voice to get in. Like I was, and then the parkour stuff
Mhm.
after she gets it, I was enthralled. I was on board. I was like, this if this game plays half of how good this trailer is.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the idea of her using all these gadgets to do things. A streamer that I like to watch all the time, Maximilian Dude, I think he compared it to like being, oh, this is a James Bond with like Mission Impossible style gadgets. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's a cool
Interesting.
elevator pitch.
I went the other way. I thought this was more Dying Light
Oh, because of the
with
way she's moving and stuff.
Mhm. I thought
Okay,
this was more Dying Light and Deus Ex.
okay.
Yeah, because like the gadgets and like the see-through. Because what I'm wondering is, what does your skill tree look like as you upgrade your
Hmm.
abilities? Like, are you going to focus more on stealth? Are you going to focus more on hacking? Like, what does that skill tree look like?
See, I'm wondering if there if is there a skill tree?
Good call.
Maybe you just have everything.
I
I don't
just
know.
assumed that you would have one.
Yeah, yeah. I hope this game lives up to this trailer because it seemed like there was just so many issues with the game, but it seems like they're on a good pace. I will say this: this looks so awesome, but I feel like this is 2026 at the earliest, if I had to guess, because of
See,
all
from
the reports that we've heard of like them having to go back to the drawing board. They didn't give us any dates on it, and then Matt Booty came out right after this and said, "We're going to continue to show you like the updates on this game." That was the only game he really talked about like that. So in my mind, I feel
Mhm.
like this is a ways away, not even
I'm
2025.
excited I'm excited just watching this again. My question is again, this looks great.
Hmm.
So did Redfall. Like the art direction, the style. Redfall had the same. Oh, this is gonna be great, and then it came out, and everybody was like,
I
"Oh."
don't know that everybody thought that way about Redfall the way they felt about Perfect Dark. Personally,
The difference is Redfall was a new IP. Perfect Dark was something people had been clamoring for. But what I'm saying is, when Redfall came out, people were like, "Oh, this looks cool. I'm interested. How does this play? It's made by this studio that we love, yada yada yada." And then it came out, and everybody was like,
hmm
this was terrible." And I am again, I'm hesitant about Perfect Dark because it looks so good. But
sure.
again, these trailers are meant, because here's the thing a lot of people don't realize, and it's something that I didn't even think about. These Sometimes these trailers are released as a proof of concept to attract people to come work on the project.
Hmm.
And I was like, when I heard that, I thought that was very interesting. Like, the game isn't done, but here's what we are trying to do. Why don't you come on board and help us do that? I thought,
Sure.
and so as I watched this, I was like, how much of this shit can you actually do?
Hmm.
But when you asked me, there were three. That was one of them. That game right there, Perfect Dark, was one of them.
So have we done the other two yet?
Nope.
Okay, because you were excited for Expedition 33 and South of Midnight, but
I
those weren't the
was
games. Okay.
but no, this was the one I was like, yeah, I'm on board.
Okay. Cool.
Inject this into
Um,
my veins.
Next one was Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred.
Whoo!
I'm not gonna play that thing because I need to go to sleep tonight.
I'm gonna tell you right
That
now,
was creepy in the
that
best
trailer
way.
was intense.
Yeah, I was like, good job, Blizzard. You
I'm gonna
guys
tell you
always
right
have good
now.
cinematics.
So as I was playing that trailer, or I was playing the showcase, Evan was in the room, my son, the oldest, and Owen, he don't be paying attention. Evan was in the room, and we like left the room to go do something. And I came back and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" I was like, "Oh, no, 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 no!" I'm like hitting,
Yeah,
trying to like fast forward and get off of that because I was like, "You, I don't need you seeing this." But
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man, that was an amazing trailer.
Hmm.
Man,
Yeah,
that was,
that was
and
creepy.
I do want to play Diablo 4, but not because of this.
Hmm.
If anything, it made me not want to play Diablo 4 because of that trailer, because I was like, that is some the mom, like that's your mom? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that was amazing. Hey, bravo.
I mean, Blizzard knows how to craft a trailer. Next one up, one I was really excited for was Fable.
Yeah,
Um,
you're right. This so as I watched this, I was like, I wanted to text you and be like, I wonder what Michael thinks about this.
yeah, I was really excited for Fable. I've enjoyed the Fable games that were done by Lionhead. I like the humor there, and I like that whatever who is this Playground Studios or Playground Games, whatever they're called. Um, I don't know what this. Just cuz? Okay. Is that just cuz?
Just because
Okay, cool. Just checking.
they hate
Um,
us because they ain't us.
Playground Games presents Fable. I I have liked these two trailers that they've done. This one, I feel like I know this actor. I've seen him and stuff, but I can't think of his name. And then the one with Richard Ayoade, the
Porn,
last Fable trailer. Who?
porn.
Porn? What?
You said you were saying, I know this guy, but I don't know where he's from.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like, porn.
That
So
went
I
over
just
my head.
sorry. There's a Friends episode where Phoebe is like in the coffee shop, and she's like, "You're wondering where you know me from," and she's like, "Porn. Your boyfriend watches me in a porn," and it was her twin sister who was doing it. But that anyway. Continue. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah, I like how this looks. Um, what I'm curious about is, do you create your own character? Because they've only shown this female protagonist, which is
Yes.
cool. But Fable 1, 2, and 3, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you made your own character. Um, I would imagine you probably do the same thing in Fable. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I feel like that was a big thing. Was you create your own hero, and like the story just kind of revolves around what you do. So I imagine you do that in here, but they're just showing this female protagonist. So that's cool. Um, but I like this. I like the scope of this and how big everything looks. Um, I would love to see actual, because they show snippets of gameplay every little bit, but it's like 4 and 5
Yep.
seconds at a time.
Yep.
I would kind of want to see more of it happening at once, because I
I
still haven't seen her fight multiple enemies at once. I feel like she fights one at a time.
and so that was my question, and I do want to see more, and I'm wondering if this is a full-fledged, how do I say it? Is this a full-fledged video game, or is this a sinuous saga type thing, Hellblade, where it's more you're along
Five,
for the
six games
journey?
or 5 or 6 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you're along for the story, and or is this a game where you like they're showing you what the game could be? Like as you go through, we have all of these different cinematics where you get to these different places, these characters, kind of like where The Witcher 3 was,
Hmm.
and we're not showing so much gameplay because the gameplay is going to be there. We want you to fall in love with the story, and that's my question, because I'm not gonna lie, these vignettes, these trailers, some of these are better than some of the TV shows we got out right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I would wager this was pretty damn good.
Hmm.
Like this suckered me into like, okay, maybe I should jump on this Fable bandwagon.
Yeah. Next game up was Fragpunk. It's a
So
5v5 hero shooter where you use cards to do power ups.
I thought
That's cool, I guess.
at first I was like, is that Valerian? Because the art style reminded me of that.
Oh, okay. I can see that.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I'm like, I'm not knocking them, and I don't want to. For people who play these games, it's just not a game for me. So, but I
Yeah, I
love
don't
this
have
art
like the
style.
Twitch skills to be like in hero shooters and just multiplayer shooters in general. I just want to give me a single player campaign where I can fight
Yeah,
computers and whatnot
yeah.
in the CPU. Um, but yeah, this looks interesting. I think the card mechanic is a cool gimmick or whatever because everything has card mechanics now and deck builders. So doing it in a shooter seems interesting.
But this looks great.
Yeah.
And for the people who play this, I'm all happy for them. But this looks great, and I love the art direction, the art style behind this.
Hmm. Next game was Winter Burrow, which I thought was a Five Goes West game. Somebody
I
else told
thought
me they
this
thought it was
was.
the Legend of
I,
Nim.
th- I thought it was. I thought it was Mouse Guard.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Or is it
So when I
Secret of Nim,
saw
not
it,
Legend? Is it Secret of Nim? I don't know.
yeah,
Whatever.
Secret of No. I
Secret
thought
of Nim.
this was Mouse Guard.
Okay.
I thought this was a video game of the graphic novel series Mouse Guard. So, matter of fact, Evan watched this and he was interested. He wanted to know more about it. So,
This was a sad trailer when the mouse would met the other mouse and then it got taken away by the bird. It's like, oh dang, that sucks.
so I we just watched the visuals on this.
Hmm.
Owen was kind of like all over the place, so we didn't hear a lot of this, or I didn't hear a lot of this. But I did enjoy what I saw, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. This is another one that I was like, if it came, if I got a Game Pass for, and they made it easier on Steam Deck, this is one of the games that I would play.
Okay. Yeah, this is Winter Burrow. Next one, which I think is very interesting, is Mixtape. I don't know if you remember Mixtape. Mixtape
Nope,
was
do not.
girl having fun with her friends.
Oh yeah, I do remember this. This one reminded me of. Uh, was this a what was this? Continue. I'm sorry. I can't remember what I thought when I saw
What you
this,
think it
but
was
I
Life is
did.
Strange or
Yes,
okay.
I couldn't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's the new Life is Strange, which is funny because they did another Life is Strange later on in the thing. But I like this idea of some supernatural element that you may or may not know what's going on. You're having a summer vacation or something with your friends, and you're just experiencing your life ups and downs. It could be fun.
It reminded me of like movie wise Days and Confused, but then at the end, like right here when they showed the music, I was like, okay, no, this is more. It it reminded me of if Annapurna, the Annapurna games.
Hmm.
It reminded me of like that studio and how they're getting more into video games and that more of an atmosphere as far as game wise, and not really focusing on the gameplay itself. It's more of an experience.
Hmm.
But
Um,
I really thought this one was cool.
it is Annapurna,
Oh
and
man,
yeah,
sometimes I'm on.
and
Hey,
Annapurna Interactive. They're
sometimes
the
I'm on, man. Sometimes I'm on.
Yeah, they're the publisher behind it or whatever. The studio is Beethoven Dinosaur, I think is the name, and they did.
Sounds some
What's it?
shit a toddler would come up with,
I mean,
and,
yeah, I can't
and
remember
and I support it. And I
the Great
support it.
Escape or something they did. I can't remember what it was called. Some rock and
So
roll game. I'm excited for this Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024.
So I wanted to bring this up when you were like, "There's no racing game," and I was like, "Well, they don't need one because they got this." Because Flight Simulator,
I wouldn't call Flight Simulator a racing game.
no. Hear me out. When you were like, the certain things you didn't see, and I'm not saying this takes the place, but this is a game that's like it's outside of the normal hack and slash. You know, I gotta fight zombies. Like this is what I did not see from Sony in a sense. Like when they did their showcase, I don't remember them showing something like this, if that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited with the new expansions getting to take people around. I think it's a clever way to have you essentially doing the same thing over and over again because you are just flying stuff in a simulation style game. But now you get to spray some vegetation and crops and stuff or do rescues. I wonder how
Now,
interactive these rescues are actually going to be, or if it's just you fly to the point and then you're done. I don't know.
now here's the thing, and and this is what I will say that Sony is dropping the ball, and then on the flip side, Microsoft is dropping the ball. This should be in a VR game.
I mean,
Like,
yeah, I have no I have
like
no issue with that.
this should be a VR game, and this is one of those games where if it does come to a Meta Quest or where like Sony's VR2 headset is going to be compatible with PC, this is a game that would do so well on that. And so hopefully when they are able to play the Sony VR2 headset with a PC game and you do have a PC Game Pass subscription with this game on it, they need to make a way for to make this VR. Because I have no interest in playing a flight simulator game, but I tell you what, I have interest in watching a flight simulator game, and if it was in VR where I could just turn my head this way and that way, I would buy it. I would. So that's just me. So Microsoft, make a headset for me.
Here we go. Up next was a commercial for Elder Scrolls Online. 10 years of that. I don't really do
Pass.
MMOs like that,
Pass.
so yeah, not for us. That's fine.
Don't care.
Life is Strange.
So I really thought this was interesting because I didn't think they were coming back to this franchise. At least not anytime soon. So I thought this was cool, but
I
it's
mean,
not
Life
for
is
me.
Strange is pretty popular.
It is, but again, it's one of those things where it just wasn't for me, and I don't knock it if it is for you. I want you to have all the things.
I think I really like in this particular story the fact that this girl can kind of go through both worlds. And in one world, her friend is still alive, the other one, friend's dead, and she kind of has to work through both to figure out, okay, how do I keep you alive all the way around? I think that's kind of cool. Kind of reminds me of the game. What was it? Going between both. I think it was the Medium. It was like a launch game for Xbox Series X or whatever, where
Mhm,
like essentially both worlds were running concurrently. You can go between either one at any time.
mhm.
Kind of reminds me of that. So I think that's cool. And I think this was a day one on Game Pass.
Either way, I thought this was cool. If you like this game, I'm happy for you. I'm happy you get this game, but it just I'm not saying I will never play it. It just wasn't something that I was expecting or
Have you played
needed or
any of them?
I just watched the
Okay.
cutscenes
Okay.
that people put online and string together.
Yeah.
So, come on, man, because there's one I want to get to.
I mean, I'm going in order, sir. I'm going as fast as I can.
You ain't going
Next
as
one
fast as
up.
you can.
Okay. Well, then don't talk anymore, and then we'll get through all of them. Next one is Indiana Jones. I think.
Pass.
Wow. Really?
Don't give a shit.
Jeez. Here's the thing. I'm
It's
not
not
that
third person. I don't care. And that's how I feel.
okay.
Mhm.
For me, I feel like this might have been one of the weaker games that was at this thing for me.
Really?
Yeah, the way they presented it, and I'll let it play a little bit while we talk over it. The way they presented it,
Is that Billy D. Williams?
don't do that because I don't think that man was black.
It looked like Billy D. Williams. Y'all,
It
let me know in the
doesn't
comments if that was Billy D. Williams.
the something about it just seemed kind of slow, and maybe that's on purpose to make it feel like a movie. Um, I don't necessarily need to have modern guns in a video game to feel fun. Like I can be fine with revolvers and stuff like that and stuff during this time. But it just felt kind of flat, at least the scenes that they were showing. That whole scene that they showed of him and them finding the submarine out in the Himalayas or whatever. Okay, that's cool. But the punches about it just seemed slow. The movement when that guard got hit by the box and slid off the boat seemed very slow. It didn't seem fast. Like I feel like you could have. I don't know. I was just like, it looks pretty, but
We
yeah.
already have Uncharted. It's called. I mean, we already have Indiana Jones. It's called Uncharted. I messed that up. But anyway, I I'm like this. I this I'm I am going to disagree with you a little bit. I thought this looked amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought
I
this looked
think. Sorry,
amazing.
I think
The,
visually it looks amazing.
the character models I thought were. I I even as I was listening to it, I was like, okay, I I get the indie voice. Like it's not Harrison Ford, but it there was a sense of this reminds me of Indiana Jones.
Hmm.
But I will say this again, it ain't third person, so I don't care. And I know that's shallow. I know as I say this, that's not the best way to be. I know we need more first person games, yada. I don't care. Uncharted is Indiana Jones for this generation, and I'm all on board with that. And if you were going to do an Indiana Jones and you were going to supplant Tomb Raider and Uncharted, you shouldn't have gone first person shooter. That's just my two
Um,
cents.
okay. I mean, this is done by the Wolfenstein people, the people that know how to make first person shooters.
You're right. And they should keep killing Nazis in Wolfenstein.
Okay.
Because I've said this before. I'm I'm not I'm not backing down. I'm not apologizing. I think if you're going to make a CGI cartoon, whatever movie, whatever, that's fine. I don't need a I don't need a first person Indiana Jones game, and that's just me. And maybe if it comes to Game Pass and I play it, it's not that bad. Cool. I wanted a third person game.
You keep saying if, you should be saying when it comes to Game Pass.
I'm of the mindset I believe it when I see it.
Okay, sure. Um,
Because
let's.
yeah, hell, in the first showcase that announced the Xbox, what was one of the games that was announced that just came out this last month?
I don't know. Just pop quiz.
Hellblade 2, Senua's Saga.
Hmm.
That was a launch title. That was supposed to be a launch title with
No, it
this
wasn't.
console.
No, it wasn't. Never. Nope. Nope. I'll
Are
fight you
you
on that. It
sure?
was
I
positive.
disagree.
It was never ever announced as a launch title. They just showed it as the first game. It was never
Okay,
announced as a launch title.
I I stand corrected. However, that game what came out when we announced this console, and it just
Yes,
came out last month.
I will agree
So,
with that. They should not have shown it when they did.
and that's my point. So, Microsoft has continuously shown us stuff that has not come out till years later. So, I say that about Indiana Jones. I don't care.
Mhm.
Moving on.
So here, and I need to see. Watch this. This part to me looks really slow. This guy as he move, that just seemed very slow to me. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah. Moving on. We're getting our anime love Mecha Break.
This is number two.
Okay.
This is my two.
This
Because
thing looks wild
this
in a good way.
reminded this reminded me of Zone of Enders. This reminded me of the Gundam games. It it had more of the mech feel. I'm not
Hmm.
saying Armored Core does not have a mech feel, but this reminded me of that quick
You want you
video
want you want
game.
quick mechs, not like slow moving mechs.
But Armored Core has fast moving mechs, but Armored Core is from FromSoft, and they are very well versed in. I'm going to punish you. You better learn these rhythms. You better learn these times.
Hmm.
I, am going to F you up. And this reminded me of Zone of Enders as far as like, I want you to have fun. And this was one of my two, because this was one of my two games.
Okay. So we got Perfect Dark and we got Mecha Break.
Mhm.
Next was Wuchang.
Yeah, that was some wilds.
I was like this. Mm-mm.
Yeah, that was like,
I'm not
wow.
not no demons for me. Not in my
Yeah,
house.
this was
Uh,
weird, and I loved it. Like this was cool. This was something I didn't expect.
yeah. Another character action action game, which is cool. We're getting a lot more of those. I think that's great. I think people have said that, oh, we're not getting enough single player games. I think we're still getting single player games. They're definitely bringing them out. I would imagine this is probably some type of Souls like.
Everything is a live service and Souls like.
Yeah. Um, I don't have much to say about this. It looks interesting. I like a lady with a sword. Yeah, cool. Next up was Avowed RPG from I think the Obsidian people.
Yep.
Let's see.
Now this one interests me only because they've talked about this is not a 50 to 60 hour campaign. I think they said this is more closer to 30 or 20.
Okay.
I would like to see more of this. I think this is cool. I do want to hear more story wise
hmm
what this game is because they've been fighting bad press for this, so they've been showing a lot more gameplay. I want to know, do they still have some of that same humor or storytelling they had with Outer Worlds?
I'm looking some up to see.
Okay.
Okay. Um. Okay. Yeah. Because before Outer Worlds, what was Obsidian? Did Obsidian do one of the Fallout games? Are they New Vegas?
Asking the wrong person, sir.
Okay. Fallout. Yeah, Fallout New Vegas. That was them. Okay, thought so. Um, I know people really liked Fallout New Vegas. They loved like the expansion or just that take on Fallout. So to see them kind of stretch their legs and do something different, kind of has a Skyrim feel, but it's with their twist to it. Coming 2024. We don't have a date, but I mean, maybe Christmas, day one on Game Pass. I don't know. I'm curious to see what they can do with that one. Next one was Atom Fall,
I don't remember
where
this.
yeah, this one didn't really stick into my mind as much either. I'm just kind of going down this list. Um, it's set, I think, in like a countryside somewhere, some village in like a London area, right? Like the UK or something. And yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say about it. If you don't remember, we can move on.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Shadows, which isn't necessarily Xbox. It's just it was shown at Xbox. I'm excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows. We're finally in Japan with Assassin's Creed. That's cool.
I'm definitely excited for this game, but how do I say this? It's not that I don't care. I'm going to play and buy this regardless. It's a Black Samurai,
hmm
and it's Assassin's Creed in Japan. I'm in.
hmm
Like, my only problem is Yasuke, or no, it's how do you say his name?
I always thought it was Yasuke.
You could be right. I'm only mad because I wanted Yasuke to be more of a stealth fighter versus a brawler, and that's like if that's my biggest complaint,
hmm
then I have no complaints.
Sure. Uh, Ubisoft did a press conference 2 days later, or maybe the day later, Monday, and they showed more gameplay. And it seems like you're going to be able. I don't know if you can do it all the time, but you can kind of choose whether you are Yasuke or the female ninja. I can't remember her name at the moment. So I like the idea that you can pick at any time which one you want to be. I think that's cool. So it almost seems like each mission can either be done just all out brawling with Yasuke or more stealthy with the female ninja. I think that's pretty cool. If that continues throughout the entire game, I think that would be great.
Sign me up for a black dude in Japan as a samurai. Like,
Mhm.
like I'm on board. Like, I know it's not going to be Ghost of Tsushima, I'm cool with that. I just need less of the animus,
Sure.
and I'm good. So like, I don't know if I'm gonna buy like the digital whatever the deluxe edition, but I'm on board with this. Continue.
2 more games. We have Stalker 2. The game has been shown forever and ever. Them people are doing the best they can in Ukraine.
I'm gonna tell
Hopefully,
you
the
right
game is
now.
coming out soon. Or I
I'm
think they gave a date for this time.
I'm excited about this one, but this is not the other one. But I am excited for this game because I really want to see how they pull this off. Because this I played part of the first one.
Hmm.
I I just hadn't gotten back to it. This reminds me if what if Metro 20 whatever
Yeah.
was done. I don't want to say right. That's not done with a different outlook on the game.
Hmm.
But I'm in on this one. I really am looking forward to this one.
Okay. Well, folks, if you've been paying attention, Leroy has had 3 games he said were just top of the show for him. They were Perfect Dark. They were, don't tell me the other one. Dang, where was it? Dang, what was it? Perfect Dark. It wasn't Metal Gear.
Mech
Was
break,
it
mecha break.
Mecha Break? Yes, yes, Mecha Break. I was, for some reason I was thinking it was the card game. Mecha
Sir,
Break and
you got to
Pilot.
stop drinking.
Yeah, okay. Mecha Break, Perfect Dark. So
I
we got
love
one game left.
I love how I said that as I took a drink. Let's get to this one.
It was the last one. We had a little preamble talking from Sarah Bond, and she gave us this.
I don't give a shit what she got to say. Get to yes, E Day. This
So were you surprised that it is Gears of War E-Day and not Gears of War 6?
I was,
I
but
was too.
here's where they got me. Honestly, spoiler whatever. Here's where they got me. Where Marcus Phoenix falls
Hmm.
and he gets caught,
And Dom
and then
picks his hand up.
and the music plays,
Hmm.
and the music plays from Mad World. Because remember, that was the music from one of the original Gears of War games.
Hmm.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That like this, I was like, I didn't, and you know me, I am not a prequel guy, but I loved the Gears game. I had a 360. I had a 360 and a PS3, and Gears was my game. The whole Gears franchise, I've played them all, loved them. This part right here, I was like, inject this into my veins because I did not see that coming. I
Fair
didn't.
enough. All right.
And
That was it.
that was the game that I was like, yeah, I need an Xbox. And that so let's bring this full circle. We talked about games that says, okay, what are you going to get to make me buy into your ecosystem, buy into your system as far as game wise? What's going to make me buy your console? That's a game that will make me buy your console because that's a game that I remember playing back in the day. I know you're eventually going to get to Gear 6,
Hmm.
but that showing Dom, and for those of us who played the 360 games, knows what happens. My only question now is how do you incorporate all of this stuff that you have in 4 and 5? And what was the other game? I can't remember that old boy who's the football player and the white guy, where they were front and center. I
Judgment
can't
Day or
remember.
something?
Yes. How do you incorporate all that stuff into E Day?
Yeah.
How do you tie all of what has happened later into this game? And is this game going to flesh out and then restart the entire franchise? But this was the game when I saw this, I was like, yes.
In my mind, I am excited. I'm excited for this game. I mean, I'm definitely excited for it. It's just a question of where do they go after that? Because I don't think they're going to reboot
Yeah.
the franchise. I think they're going to do a Gears of War 6 because people want it. It's just like
Where do you go?
that choice that choice you had with Kate at the end of 5. You're like, oh, okay,
Like
pay that off.
Who survives? And here's the thing: going forward, what is canon? Because does JD go? And that's why I was like, I'm not mad they didn't do Gear 6. I'm not one of those people because I don't know how you're going to go. And I'm going to be honest with you, they don't know how they're going to go.
See, that's what kind of scares me because I feel like I wonder if they're in like the was it Halo 4 to Halo 5 situation where like people were like Halo 4 kind of sucked and nobody cared.
Now here's it. And that's why I said
or was it Halo 5? I don't know, whichever Halo it was.
It was 5.
Okay.
And that's why I bring up and I said, is this a soft reboot? And that's why I said, I don't know. But I will say this. E-Day, you had me. Because I remember that trailer where like, that mad world and then that giant spider thing. Because, love that game. Like, Gears was my game. So I'm all on board with this. So for me, I had my 3 games. What were the games that you were like, I have to play that game? Give me 3.
Expedition 33. And I guess I'll just stick to games.
Fable.
Yeah, I'm trying to stick to games that are just on Xbox because honestly, it would probably be Metal Gear Solid Delta, but that'll be on both systems. But games that I think that are just, and I don't even know if Expedition 33. I know it was Game Pass. I know it was day 1 Game Pass.
We'll say that. We'll say we'll look it up and they'll tell us in the comments. But that
it could either be Expedition 33 or South of Midnight. We'll go with one of those.
South of Midnight will be.
I know that's definitely Compulsion. Yeah. So one of those, and then we'll do Perfect Dark, and then we'll do
Fable.
Yeah, probably Fable because that humor got me. I was like, "Yep, I'm loving this British humor. This is fantastic."
Okay,
give me more of that. Those are my 3.
So now going back over it, how do you feel about the showcase? Are you still? What would you rate the showcase now that we've gone through it, talked about all these games?
What did I give it before? 4 out of 5?
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't change. It's the same score. The thing is, I think the showcase was really good. The thing is, let me see the games. Let me actually play the games. Let them be out. So I think Xbox has had a bunch of great hype pieces. This may have been their best hype piece. Now they just got to deliver.
See, I'm with you, but I give it a 3 out of 5. Only because we know you can do this. Here's my thing. This was a good. I would give it a 4 out of 5. But the reason why I don't is because I know you can already do this. I need to see more. Like I need to see follow through. And Microsoft and Xbox have never done follow through when it comes to these showcases because again, you pointed out it was not considered a launch title. But Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga, that was a game you announced when the console was coming out and you just released that. And not only did you just release it, there was no press going for that game up until the week it came out. We're both we're the target demo. I did not see YouTube ads for it until maybe the week or 2 before it came out. I didn't see any magazine ads. I didn't see there was no full court press for that game. And that's your game. This isn't like a studio you bought recently. This was your in-house game. And I have not seen them deliver on that promise of we have the games. So for me, it's a 3 out of 5.
Okay. Folks, that'll do it for us. We've been going an hour and a half. This is the longest we usually go. Y'all getting extra time for us in this recorded just because we love y'all so much. Be excited about that. We'll go through the rigmarole. It's the Boston Celtics. When is the next game? Is it Friday?
I believe it's Friday.
All right. So
could be Saturday.
Okay. So either they will have won. Well, when this goes up, they will either be the champions or we're going to a game 5. Who knows? So this could be a great moment in time
Or-
for Leroy.
Here's the thing. I'm cool with them winning the next one and making a sweep, and I'm also cool with them losing and closing it out in Game 5 in Boston.
There we go. Folks, like, comment, subscribe. Help Leroy get more Boston gear by like, comment, subscribe, getting those numbers up so we can get those page views up and all those clicks. Hit the bell so you know when we put up stuff. Be sure to
Go
follow
put this
us.
in my boy's crib.
There we go. Twitter, Instagram, Threads. We trying, y'all. Nerdy by nature. I think that's it. Until next time.
Yep.
We out. Peace.